Hey, this is Kimbo, and I'm updating you on my progress from my operation that I had on my herniated disc on my L5-S1, which I had 2 weeks ago. My last update was a week post-op. So as you can see, I'm up and vertical, mobile, and I'm feeling a lot more positive and a lot happier than I was prior to the surgery, and probably the best I have felt in about 6 months. So that's good news for you watching this video. Great news for me, great news for you that you will get back to yourself, but it does take time and patience and yeah, so my update anyway, 2 weeks post my surgery is I'm up for 60 minutes to maybe 2 hours at a time. And apart from that, I'm sitting for short periods of time or resting, lying in bed for short periods of time as well. I am feeling emotionally so much better than what I was. This is probably the best I have felt in 6 months. That's a long road. The emotional ups and downs and the roller coaster that you go on, I think just the level of pain that we're in with this particular herniation. It's the sciatic pain that was just intense, like so intense. I've never had any pain like it. Actually, giving birth was a lot easier than having what I've gone through in the last 6 months. So that has dispersed. Probably I'm 95%, 95% better in the sciatic region. I am feeling a little bit of glute pain in my left side. So that's where the herniation was, on the left side. So a little bit of glute pain, and especially at night time. But apart from that, the only pain that I've been in over the last 2 weeks, especially that first week, which was horrendous, was the wound. So the wound is gradually healing. The wound, apparently, it was on my back, so I couldn't really see and I didn't want to see. But Rob, my husband, he was saying it was like a golf ball. It was like a hole in literally, there was a hole in my back. And so that has taken 2 weeks, or it still hasn't healed. So it's still healing and repairing. So I have to be very careful of that wound and where it's lying. So when I'm in bed, that can be very uncomfortable. I've kind of been lying on my back for 2 weeks. And last night, for the first night, I was able to sleep on my side with a pillow in between my legs and hugging onto a pillow that my physio had suggested that I try that, just because you're still not getting much sleep because you are in that rigid position for such a long period of time. So that was encouraging, and I slept quite well last night, probably one of the best night sleeps that I've had. So I am up, I am mobile, I'm walking around I saw a sports physio this week, and he said that I could walk for 20 minutes at a time, like obviously the pace that I can do, and keep walking. That's the best thing that I can do. Nothing else, nothing at all. He doesn't want me to, nothing for the next 2 weeks. He said you're still healing internally over the next 2 weeks. So walking up to 20 minutes at a time, slow pace, and if I can repeat that, 4, 5, 6 times a day, depending on how I'm feeling on the day. So yoo-hoo, I'm happy about that I can actually do something. The other thing he also suggested was there's no BLT. So remember, my previous YouTube video was BLT stands for bending, lifting and twisting. So I still can't bend, lift or twist for another 2 weeks. So I've still got my gorgeous girls, Zara and me, they're getting me ready every morning before school. They're putting my pants on, they're putting my socks on, my shoes on, and sometimes I pull my socks up really high, which I hate, and I can't do anything about it because I can't bend. So we have a good laugh at that. What else? Bending, lifting, twisting, and car. So I was able to drive yesterday for the first time, and I'm about to go out on my first day out taking some girls to a soccer gala day for school. So I'm excited just to get out of the house as well, and I do need to be careful today not to overdo it. So driving, getting in and out of the car is crucial, and my physio, who specialises in herniated discs, and he actually works in correspondence with my surgeon, he has given me lots of ideas of how to actually get up out of bed, to sit, to stand, to bend without bending from your back, if that makes sense, like a lunge type, if I needed to get something lower out of a cupboard, for instance. I've still got everything up on my shelves at home, high, so I don't need to bend. So my whole house, my kitchen is just full of baking stuff because I love to cook. So baking stuff up high so it's accessible for me at all times. And we'll just live like that for the next 2 or 3 weeks, I guess. So the sports physio, he wants to see me again in 2 weeks. He's quite happy with my recovery. He said the thing with athletes and my experience is training, personal training, CrossFit for the last 3 years, is that trying to hold us back because we are so eager and driven that we want to get out and do some form of activity again, as opposed to people who are not active and need encouraging and need maybe to lose a lot of weight that's going to help with their herniation, the recovery in their back. He said people like myself, it's a matter of actually pulling me back and not getting me to do things too quick. So I'm really going to listen to him, and he's like my guru at the moment, and I will listen to whatever he says. Sleeping, I went through drugs, so painkillers. I did have a painkiller yesterday, but apart from that, for the first 2 weeks I have been on painkillers, not the high dose, not the high level, and I was just having 1, not 2 every 4 hours, and I was okay with that. Sleeping for me is probably the main time that I actually need that painkiller. So I'm just going to take them. If I need them, whenever I need them, I'm going to take them, and whenever I feel like I don't need them, I'm just going to do without. So far so good, and I'll report back in another couple of weeks. But apart from that, I'm doing really well emotionally and mentally. I'm feeling like a much happier person. So if you felt the depression and all the rollercoaster journey over the last few months in being in so much pain, once again, get that support from your friends, your family, anyone, any advice. YouTube videos for me was such a life saver. I really found watching other people who have been through exactly the same thing. It's so nice to see that they could get through it and what it was that helped them get through it. So if there's anything I can do, it's helping you get through your journey as well. So I'll touch back in a couple of weeks, so that'll be 1 month post-operation. And until then, look after yourself, and if I can do it, you can do it.